so he can send you an invite.
Yes, sir. And I got the friend request, got the invite, and good evening, everybody. Welcome to race number 2 of the PRCS Racing Series Valor Pro League, guys. Good evening, everyone. I am Shady Acres in the booth tonight, stepping in for Sloppy Joe and Rusty Walrus. And tonight got a special guest with me, a good friend of mine, longtime friend, Puddin' Knievel. How's it going, my dude?
What's up, man? Proud to be here. Thanks for the invite, man. It was pretty honored to, get that phone call at the last minute. Just sitting in some beautiful air conditioning out of 110 degrees down here in Texas, waiting to watch these guys go short track racing tonight, man. Pretty excited.
I tell you what, I've been excited for this race ever since the last race ended last week at Auto Club. Did you have a chance to catch that race last week?
Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go back and watch it yet, or I didn't get to catch it, but I can only imagine Auto Club being one of those tracks that's one of my personal favorites on here, with the talent of drivers that Valor has and everything. That would have been a great race. So you're going from almost super speedway racing down to short track racing, and we talked about this just a little bit off air. Not one of my favorite specialties, not one of my favorite things, short track racing. So these guys are going to the opposite mind frame of full throttle drafting to hitting your marks, hitting your braking points, trying not to get it into the person in front of you because their braking points, their marks might be a little bit different than you. So they're going to have to be on the ball tonight. But these guys have raced with each other for so long, so many times. I have an idea that they have a great feel on how to drive each other.
Absolutely, absolutely, and you couldn't be any more right. Last week at Auto Club, they kicked this season off in a huge, huge way. It's Your Bro Chase ended up getting the win from the pole. And I tell you what, it got real interesting towards the end. JCR JWoww was in the lead, and the caution came out with with only a handful of laps left. And very, very interesting sequence of events happened. The caution came out. There's only about a handful of laps left, and JWoww what ended up being the only car that stayed out and did not pit. Now, speaking with JWoww after the race and asking,
that's a bold move. That's a bold move, Cotton, as they would say.
It was, and I kind of knew the answer to the question before I asked it, but I had to ask it, and asked him why. What was his thought process there? And he simply said that being out front and knowing that, you had 20 cars in the field, his thought process was he figured, the guys from P15 on back probably, rolling the dice as far as staying out for track position. With the thought process, exactly what I was kind of thinking. If I'm 15th or 20th, and I stay out, and start, restart second, third, fourth, what have you, on the restart, knowing that the guys coming out of the pits are going to have fresh tires, probably going to lose, I don't know, maybe 5 spots. So if I restart second, and let's say that I lose 8 spots, and I'm gonna get that. I'll end up with a top 10 instead of 15th. Let's say when the caution came out, I was 15th. So that would have been a plus net of 5 additional spots.
And so I like that. I like that mindset. I mean, I've done that in the past, especially if you're coming down to 10 to go, 15 to go. There's a caution. These guys are on freshies. As we talk, JWoww right now, you speak of the devil. He's out there in YouTube land. What's up? He says, "What's up to Shady out there?" But that's a top 10, especially with these guys, and points to start off the year are so dire important. I would have done the same thing, knowing that I may not have the chance to pull the W, but you never do. You never know. Take that gamble. But to get that top 10, get the points, I like that mindset of it, though. I like that.
But he was also thinking, in a sense, as we're getting a join now, let's go ahead and get up in a join. as we're going to get ready to go green here at Richmond. And as we are loading in, I'll just keep the mindset on that. And before I load in, I just want to make sure you got an invite. You're all set to go before I go
Yep,
on in.
I appreciate everybody out there getting that in there.
All
I'm
right.
loading in now. Like I said, it's been a while knocking the old rust off.
Yep. And like I was saying, so his thought process was if he's in first and if he can get, he was rolling the dice to maybe get 2 or 3 people to stay out, which he was going to try to use those as natural blockers for the guys that would have been on fresh tires, since there's only, I don't know, I think there was maybe like 3 or 4 laps left. So he was going to hope that you get 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 guys at the most staying out and kind of naturally being blockers and slowing up those guys with the fresh tires to maybe last it out till he gets to the win. And unfortunately, nobody pitted with him, and he was kind of a sitting duck. And It's Your Bro Chase ended up coming away with the win, starting from the pole. FRR Far Forever got second, and Go Fast Jason was third, with JCR Clashin coming home fourth, and Slade rounded out the top 5. And I tell you, Puddin', the way that they kicked it off last week, I tell you what, man, we're going to be in for a treat here tonight at Richmond.
I don't know how many times you can say slide job necessarily at Richmond. Richmond is, in my opinion, a 2-lane track. You can run that bottom, you can run that second lane, but if you drive her in deep and let her eat, maybe let her slide up in front of the person on top of her, on the outside of you there. Tires are going to be a factor, like you just said too. You don't want to eat those up, but we got 200 exciting laps. These guys are getting in the formation right now, and I'm going through the field trying to get acclimated with the drivers and their names and everything. There's a couple names I'm not familiar with, like an Aqua Caddy and what's his GTR something. Okay,
Jose Protege, Piccola Gator.
Yeah, that's it. I've never heard of those people, but we're gonna get acclimated with them, and we're gonna give you the best commentary in racing. We are green flag here, and the 32 is already making moves to the inside of the 88. So the top 6 looks like they've gone single files. I'm trying to get to the camera angles and get acclimated again. Almost goes 3 wide, but the 43 does. Big D Destroyer thinks better of it. He's going to go to the inside. 43 has a big check up in front of him. 2 gets right in the back of him. 2 keeps it off for the wall. He's got the number 5 to his outside. A little bit of bumper banging already happened here tonight at Richmond, City.
And JCR Clashin in that 51, starting on the pole tonight, as It's Your Bro Chase in the 14 actually won the pole in qualifying for the second week in a row. However, I'm not sure exactly the reason, but it was unable to make the start tonight. Not sure exactly what happened, but that allowed Clashin to start on the pole. And Clashin in that 51 has already jumped out to a quick little lead over second place Slade and Mike RPM there in third.
I'm back here on board with who is this? This is Mopwa Celtics.
Mopawa.
Mopawa Celtics. Okay. He is getting in the back of the 43. I can't tell if the 43 is checking up a little bit, trying to save some tires. But this is the second, third time that Celtics has been able to get to him, and it's just a couple minutes ago too. Somebody's trying to get to the outside. So I wonder if the 43 is on a strategy, or it might be a little bit light. He goes to that second lane right now, opens up the door for the, what'd you say, Mopawa Celtics to get to the inside of him. And he's going to try to get him clear here. So the 43 might be on something right here, or just might not be a fan of the short tracks like myself.
And that 22 makes the pass on... And that 22 of Mopawa makes that pass on the 43 of Kill It Like Jason. The 5 car of Flash 9 tried to follow up, but it was unable to make the pass. So Mopawa is going to moves up and picks up that spot.
A little bit of battle back here between the 44, I think that's the 95, the 44 being Mike RPM. He's got some pressure from behind, gets cleared by half a car.
Yeah, now
that's the 88, that man Perky too, right behind these guys. So we got a nice little 3-car battle back here.
Right now, be aware we actually have two number 95 cars in the field tonight. The 95 of DB DeBest, as you see there, who was just battling Mike RPM for the 4th spot, as he now is just getting passed by the 88. But DB DeBest in that number 95 Toyota. But also in the other 95 Toyota is JCR JWoww is back, who's currently riding in 3rd, right there behind Slade, knocking on the door, right on Slade's back bumper, practically in his back seat. But I tell you what, Puddin', I was talking to these JCR guys earlier today, JWoww and Clash and Boat, and this is a track that they've been actually preparing for over a month. These guys have, I mean, they want this race in the worst way, and it is showing, it is coming out early here, as you see. Here comes 95 of JWoww looking underneath of the 21, and there goes JWoww to make the pass on Slade for 2nd position. So there's those two JCR guys already running 1-2 to start this race off. And these guys, they put in, I don't know how many laps or how many hours they anticipated they put in this past month preparing for this race. But the results are already shown for these guys as JCR clashing, jumping out to an early lead. There you see the interval there between he and JWoww there in 2nd, Slade in 3rd, and Mike RPM in 4th. As we kicked off here in stage 1 here at Richmond.
Yeah, I'm over the bumper of JCR JWoww right now, and you talked about the JCR boys. I've known some of them, talked about and commentated broadcasts a long time ago and raced with them too, even JCR McLovin over on the console side. These guys put so much time and so much work into their setups and everything. Now, question to me, like I said, Richmond wouldn't be one of those tracks I circled. I'd circle it in red just to be like, let's get this thing over with. But you said you've been practicing for a month now. The JCR guys have always put a lot of time and a lot of effort. And I always said I've never had any rivals on the racetrack, but the one person that always kind of bit me at the end, I was always kind of be there and had great battles with him, was their other teammate of JCR McLovin, especially at Watkins Glen one time. I thought I had something for them, but they know what they're doing. I've raced with JCR on the other side right now too. These guys put so much time and so much work into their vehicles, and it's showing tonight as JCR Wow is trying to, looks like he gains a little bit and loses. The intervals probably being about equal, but running 1 and 2 right now, they can't be upset with that.
As you're saying, the as you mentioned, McLovin is in this Valor Pro League, this league. McLovin drives in the number 3 Chevrolet. Unfortunately, unable to make the race tonight, but he was in Auto Club last week. Kind of had a little bit of a rough race. Got caught up in a lot of mess, a lot of wash, a lot of muck from mid-pack where it got a little hectic there. So has not gotten off to the start that he wanted, but McLovin in that 3 car is in this league to make a 3.
We got some contact. I didn't mean to cut you off, Shady. The 8 of
Aqua
Taddy. Yeah, again, we've got to get acclimated with some of these names. He made some contact, gets to the outside a little bit, and that 43 car fell back to the end of the field, but now he is also, I think that's like Jason, he's making some moves. So I'm wondering early on if he started to save some tires right there. But Aqua Taddy, yep, there we go, in that 8, making the move around him, and it looks like that's one of the best battles we have on the track, because we got those 3 and they got another 3 in front of them, almost too wide as they drive her in deep here at turn 1. Drifts up the track just a little bit. Some of these guys, well, I'm almost assuming everybody's on a wheel, Shady, but sometimes I know people that, you know, that was a big deciding factor for some people, a wheel to a controller. Some people actually went back to banging sticks on short tracks. They preferred it over the wheel. Now, that's something I wouldn't have done on a plate track, but short track, some people did prefer that. But I'm assuming almost everybody here is on a wheel, which it does give you a lot more stability.
I would imagine. I'm sure. It's with everything else, it's completely, totally preference. Some guys prefer the wheel, some guys prefer but just like you said, some guys prefer the wheel at an intermediate track or plate track, but prefer the controller at something like the short track. As we see the 8 and Aquatati get a little
knocking
loose.
That wall down.
Yeah, he brushed that wall and trying to get that thing centered up. These
and the
guys,
25 at KW back here, it looks like he might be having some issues too. He clipped the wall by himself.
You have the 25 of Koala.
Yeah, Koala. It's a 25. Yeah, he's got some handling issues, or again, may not just be a fan of it, but hanging in there. And yep, keeps it off the wall. But when you pull left like that, coming off the wall, that kills your time a little bit too. You do want to get up next to that wall. You do want to snug up against it, but you think you're going to hit it. Natural instinct is to not yank it to the left, but drive it a little bit more left, and that does kill your straightaway speed. It also kills your entry angle, because then you have to turn right to get back up to the apex to get it down in there. So.
And Koala in that 25 already in danger of going a lap down, as Clashin, the leader in the 51, starting to reel him in slowly but surely here to put him a lap back. But we are only in stage 1, so there is plenty of time, plenty of pit stops, making adjustments, get things kind of tuned in right. So certainly not far or not over by any stretch of the imagination for any of these guys, especially that 25 in Koala, who definitely would love to see a caution, get in that pit stop, make some adjustments, as JCR Clashin in that 51, our leader, he is picking them up and he is laying it down right now.
These are custom setups, I'm assuming, obviously, correct?
Yes, this is custom setup. Mm-hmm.
I know it's a little unprofessional of me, but being getting that phone call at the last minute there, forgot to ask the important questions.
No, it's all good, my friend. It's all good. And, just let you know, we also have one of our sponsors, MinaPeach.com. Mina Peach, framing artwork design. Check those guys out. All kinds of little knickknacks for your parties, holidays, all kinds of cool stuff. MinaPeach.com. Check those guys out when you get the chance. Got some great stuff on there, gifts, gadgets, all kinds of stuff. So thank you, MinaPeach.com, for sponsoring us here tonight in this awesome league. But with this league, it's such a combination of drivers. Puddin'. I mean, most of these guys, believe it or not, we're in. A lot of guys are familiar with it, but the FTR racing series, and going through this field.
That's Billy Holcomb's league, isn't it?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And going through this field, when I got when I was asked to be part of the broadcast crew and looking at the roster, going over the roster, just about 95% of the drivers in this league were in this past league of the FTR A-League series this past season at one point or another. Mike RPM, who's in that 44 here tonight, Mike RPM, he was actually leading the points in most of the season. But in the end, when it was all said and done, JCR JWoww ended up with the championship out of that league. But all these guys, I mean, Slade had a victory, Mike RPM had a victory over there. But like you were saying there, Puddin', that these guys are very familiar with each other, not just in custom setups, but just being familiar with each other, and and being in different leagues that have been out there, but you really see that the respect that they have, but also they're so familiar with each other that they're putting on one heck of a show. I mean, DK Brown.
We got a battle right back here, Shady, between the 4 and the 32. You're talking about a show. I didn't mean to cut you off, but the 4. No. Looks like he's a little bit slower than that 32 of GTR P. Cola Gator. Yep, P. Cola Gator. Try to get acclimated. I've never Who would name themselves P. Cooley Gator? That's not good. But anyway, I mean, that's why we're all on here, right? Heck, I'm putting Knievel, so. But he looks like, Gator looks like he's just a tick faster than 4. Might have saved some equipment, maybe saved some tire, but you can't get around him as he gets a little loose. But the 4 did that 3 laps ago. So, as like I said, I'm trying to click the field and look at all the action I can see. And there's a 2-car battle in front of these guys, too. So.
Yep, and P. Cola, I believe, as we have a caution now.
Caution
is out on the racetrack.
And people, they are bumping and banging into the back of each other right now, trying to get her all woed up.
I'm not sure.
Is that the stage?
Actually, that was the stage. That was stage 1, clashing. That's how fast that he was getting around this track. JCR clashing brings home stage 1 with JWoww in 2nd, Mike RPM 3rd. Slade in 4th, the Man Perky 5th, DB the Best in 6th, KD in 7th. What was that? Cyberonic Bionic in 8th, Picola Gator in 9th, and Mopowa Celtics in 10th, with Flash 9 11th, Brennan in 12th, DK Brown 13th, Kill It Like Jason 14th, and Aquataddy in 15th for stage 1.
And we're going to rack them and stack them. Man, I don't know if you know that. I ain't got to say that in so long. We're going to rack them and stack them for stage 2 at Valor Racing at Richmond. Presented by all of our sponsors out there. Thank you guys very much. And we got our Mike RPM is just driving her in on the outside. Slade's right behind him. Both the JCR boys. Oh, Slade gets the 21 vehicle of Slade gets 95, a big old shove. Says, hey, I'm right here. He makes a move down to the inside. He's going to have to get hard on the brakes. Keep it off that apron. Mike RPM to the outside. 95 right there, too. Trying to keep it up in there. White keeps it off the wall. Trying not to go 3 wide. Great battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th already on that restart there, Shady. Holy cow.
Yeah, JCR, JWoww clashing. It jumps out to the lead. JWoww in that 95 fought for that 2nd, got it. Slade falls back into 3rd, getting in line. So as you see, there's just that little bit of side-by-side action. You saw how fast that clashing was able to kind of puts a little distance. So now these guys definitely
up back here. Holy cow!
Yes, they are. Look at this hornet's nest. We got to get back here with DB the Best. You got Mike RPM back in here. As these guys going door to door. Yeah,
one car's hung up to the outside. That inside line looks like that's going to prevail right now. That's where everybody wants to be. But that 2nd line depends on how you drive it. I feel like you might be able to save a little tire, but you got to back it up. You get a great drive on that 2nd line, but that wall comes up a lot quicker as we do see that 43 like Jason clip it just a little bit there too.
Especially with these tires, with fresh 4 tires on these cars. Definitely able
to. These guys are a lot happy. They got to be way happy to have 4 freshes on these things.
Oh yeah. Oh, it feels like being on clouds, especially after such a long green flag run in stage 1 where we went caution free. And here at Richmond, and I'm sure you probably know this. Here at Richmond, when you get some laps on these tires, that back end can get awfully loose on you awfully quick. As this track starts to get a little slick.
Yeah, they definitely don't turn into tires. They turn into those tires become into dancing shoes, and you're out there manhandling that, doing the salsa, trying to keep that rear end as straight as possible, too. We all know it. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves to hear it, too, but spinning ain't winning. If you're spinning tires, if you're sliding sideways, you have no forward grip, you have no forward momentum, you ain't going nowhere. So that is key, too. So when those tires wear out, you got to be able to manage that. Keeping an eye right now back here in the back of the pack, seeing where all the action is. They have spread themselves out a little bit. Still back here, I'm on board with, you said it was Mopowa, not Mopwa, excuse me, Mopowa. He is on the inside of the 6, and he is pushing, it looks like the 5 right in front of him. So they're going to shuffle the 6 to the outside right there. That is KD and the 6. They're going to shuffle to the outside. Can Celtics make a move to the inside? He does, man. And again, I don't know if it's just the game difference or on me, but Celtics just drove her in deep, deep, deep there. He said, I'm going to take advantage of these four tires. Well, I got him.
And Celtics is looking good. He's in that number 22, that 22 Ford Mustang in the early going, starting, running up into there. And also that number 5 car, a Flash 9, that Flash and that 5, as Mo Power Celtics gets underneath the 5 right now, going into turn 1, looking to make the pass, is going to make it. And there's Celtics picking up another spot there. So he's continuing his march towards the front, slowly but surely, but he is getting up there one at a time.
But look at our leaders, the two cars. Once they got separated, once they got that pressure off the rear bumper, they have pulled away. And it's hard to decide on what you want to do. There's always got to be decisions because you don't know if there's going to be cautions, Shady. Do you want to set your car up for a short run and then bank on cautions, or do you want to set that stuff up for a long run? Me personally, running with the caliber and the talent driver set is over here, Valor Racing League, I wouldn't bank on as many cautions. I'd set these cars up for the long run, save the tires, gear ratio maybe for a little bit of fuel, whatever it might be. But like you said, these JCR boys have prepared, they circled it on their calendar, and they are showing that they have put the time and the effort here for Richmond Street.
Absolutely, couldn't agree with you. Couldn't agree with you more, Puddin', on that. I'm absolutely setting a car up for the long run, exactly for that same reason that you just said. With the talent and skill of these drivers, just not going to see many cautions. I don't expect to see a whole lot of cautions the entire season, really. These guys are just too good. They're just that good. I mean, they're pro league guys for a reason. Guys like Clash and JWoww, just on this track alone, over the past month, they figure maybe 2,000 laps, 18 hours, preparing for the track. And these,
But the advantage, too, I think, Shady, is that, look, we're obviously still on console, but look what game we're using. We're still on Heat 5. How long has this been out? We've all heard
5 years, I think?
We all heard about the tragic news about the new game, right? We're all here on Heat 5, so these Heat 5 setups have been around for so long that they've developed, and they're still tweaking and working on them. That is an advantage of running on Heat right now, and just switching over to that new.
And just like you were saying, man, good, very, very good point. Exactly what you're saying, that these guys, even after several years later and having set up, these guys, the competition is so intense and so fierce in this Valor Racing League with these pro league guys. The competition is so tight and intense that they are looking for to squeak out and just ring out the last 100th of a second in speed. They are trying to find every ounce of speed that they can find and get out of these cars that they possibly can, because that could be the difference between winning and finishing 10th.
The other day I went through my closet. I was looking for something. I don't know, for all our viewers out there, I just got to speak to one of my buddies from over in England. We all know him as Robbie Racing. I was trying to find something to send him, and I was like, what is this? Oh, I know what this orange book is. I found my old Heat setup book. And as I was flipping through it, just reminiscing, joking around with him, as many times as I would scratch this number out or add something here or tweak it over there, as much time as I put into it, I know these guys have done the same thing too. How many people out there on YouTube? Let's take a vote. How many people out there on YouTube? Shady, you have a setup book? I know a lot of people do.
Absolutely, for Cup and Xfinity.
Cup, Xfinity, and truck. Because I really like the trucks at road courses too.
Mm-hmm. I haven't gotten into the customs of the truck yet. Maybe one day I will, but I'm currently myself, the main league I'm in is the Hammer Down Racing Series, Xfinity Series. and am an alternate for the Cup Series. But yeah, to answer your question, absolutely. Not only do I have a setup book, but I have them in pictures per track, downloaded downloaded on the laptop. So each track has pictures of all setups that I've been working with, trying to build that kind of stuff, just tweaking that kind of thing. So absolutely,
it's mind blowing how many times I changed or tweaked as I was testing. I can't imagine what these guys have done over the time. They're still still utilizing the pipeline.
And don't look now, but look at who's moved up in the 5th. That is your boy, Mopawa Celtics in that 22, who just made the pass around the 95 of DB the Best and has moved up now in the 5th behind Slade there in 4th and Mike RPM there in 3rd. As he
I'm on
continues.
board with Flashes. You see that? I've been watching this from Flash's chase cam, watching all that happen. Celtics look like he's very dialed in and picked up.
Yep. And as we're on, let's just get a lap count. This time by, we have 47 laps to go in stage 2. We've gone caution-free so far, as these guys, more the same from the first stage, are picking up and laying it down with blistering a time right now. These guys are, Clashing right now is on cruise control. There's the difference there, the difference between first and second.
And he's not gonna check up. Especially when you have teammates, you help each other. It's like in real life when I had teammates on my motorcycles. Yeah, we'd help each other off the track. When it came on track, I'm not gonna give you an inch like they're not gonna give me an inch. So bragging rights to the JCR boys on who might be able to win tonight, but can Wow hold back a little bit, Clash and say showing off a little bit. Let's see what happens between these guys, but definitely could be some friendly bantering between teammates.
Absolutely, and when it comes to 199 laps out of 200, it's teammates. But on lap 200, it's a little bit different story.
You might get old Ross Chastain, as the new motto is, right?
It very well could. But even with those JCR guys, are just like anybody else. Like you were saying, the competition is just so tight and so intense that every point is going to matter when it comes down to the end of the season, the playoffs, and the championship. Every single point is going to matter. So, I don't expect to see any unnecessary crazy risks. Hopefully I'm not putting a kiss of death onto that. For our viewers, that could be very entertaining, that's for sure.
What I used to call it the old broadcaster's curse.
They always say that, but I'm gonna tell you, the broadcaster's curse or whatever, the whole, whoever you pick, you put the kid, you put that curse on them, so to speak. I'm gonna tell you right now, Puddin', that the last season in the FTR A League, Clashin and JWoww both destroyed and pulverized that for me, because every time I was picking, and early in the season, I was picking Clashin to win, and he was winning. And then come playoff time, I picked JWoww to win the championship, and sure enough, he wins the championship.
32. Pete Cola makes a pass back there on Aqua Caddy. But yeah, that's like that's like every week if you got DraftKings picking Kyle Larson to win, you're putting the whammy on and he doesn't win.
So guys wanted me to pick him just because I almost had the luck, knock on wood, so to speak, of flipping the script of that commentator's curse, so to speak. But have not even been, that's all good fun and everything, So look, as we're going on now with 37 laps to go.
Bionic, how'd you say that? Yep, the four car. I'm on board with him right now. He's taking a little bit more interesting line compared to the 6 in front of him. He's driving it down.
We got a wreck and it's going to spin. The 95. Yep. DB the best, I believe. Got sideways.
Is that going to bring out the old yeller?
That was DB the best 20.
I was going to say, he's driving it down that yellow line. The 2 cars in front of him are keeping it a half a lane above him. What's that going to do? In the 25, looks like he might be going down some laps again. But,
we are still
no
green.
For that. Yep.
No, we are still green, and that 95, a DB the best, has got considerable damage now to that number 95 car, as Clashing in the 51 now passes to put him a lap down as he's going into the pits now to get these repairs done on this 95 Toyota. Big major issues for DB here in stage 2 at Richmond.
DB has Brennan back here, who's going to try to make his way around the 25. Looks like 25, he realized he might be off the pace a little bit, so it looks like he's doing some respectful driving out there. But I'm back on board now with Mopawa Celtics, and he is getting pressure from behind now. So, oh, and he spins! He spins around. Or is that the caution? Or the... No, they're still green. There was a bumper-to-bumper contact. I don't know if that was a lag, because the way it happened, it's like spun in like a 180 real quick, and he kept going. It looked like there could have been some contact right there, but... And here comes the 4 underneath him. I don't know what happened right there. That was really weird.
I'm not sure, but he's got it straightened out, and fortunately, fortunately for him, I don't see any damage at all to that number 22 Ford.
That was really weird. Switched over to him, and the 6 looked like it got to him in the back just a little bit. Might have touched him, but the way he spun, it didn't look like it would have spun him out. Just that little. As much as this is my unfavorite phrase of racing is rubbing is racing, I do not agree with that, but that's what it looked like it could have happened. And he did like a little sprint car 180 and kept her going. So maybe after the race we'll have to see what's going on with that. But he is making his way back up. Pit stops now are happening too, where it looks like we are green flag. I was
just about to mention at the 32 of Picola down pit road. The number 6 is KD now down pit road. Got a couple other cars making their green flag stops. Koala in the 25, he's now down. Slade in the 21, I think he's made his pit stop, I believe maybe. Big Destroyer in the number 2, he's down pit road now. As moving through the field here, as knows the 88 of Man Perky, he came in, got his service done on his Chevy Camaro. As green flag stops are being made, Flash 9 in the 5 car, he's down pit road. Looks like Eneltown in the 18, he's coming down pit road. So, pits are being
I had
made.
to pause for station identification real quick right there.
All good, as here comes our leaders now. Clashin and JWoww, they're down pit road to make
you knew they were coming together.
Oh yeah. They have, these guys have every race orchestrated. As far as when they're going to pit, how they're going to pit, what they're going to do on their pit, everything. I mean, they put so much attention to detail into these races that, I mean, even trying to plan for cautions, no cautions, these guys, I mean, they have everything orchestrated when it comes to these races. You can best believe that.
I don't know how you take it as a glass half full, glass half empty guy. I only describe that when I'm drinking beer. If I'm glass half empty, that means I need another one, right? So when it comes to planning for strategy on short tracks, I would have straight up build a short run car, anticipating and anticipating and anticipating. Again, we talked about it a little bit earlier. These guys have so much respect for each other and so much talent that it was a wise idea to go to, hey, hopefully we're not going to get more than 1, 2, maybe win a stage, call it 3. And I like their mindset on that, because you trust the people you drive with, and that is a very big key in any form of racing. You trust everybody you drive with. Accidents do happen. These guys have proven tonight that we saw a little 2 mishaps, that something that we never saw the yellow for, but they were simply mishaps. Nothing intentional. Nobody driving over their head. They understand too that you can't win on the first lap. Patience is key, and it looks like all of these drivers out here have that key word, patience, to try to get to the end.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Patience, patience, and even more patience, especially like you said in these shorter tracks. And we're at
short tracks and plate tracks, I think, is where you need the most patience. Sorry to cut you off there, but yeah, short tracks and plate track, both of them. That's where you got to have the most patience. Just cruise around, cruise around, cruise around. These guys were experienced veterans. They've been here. They've done it for years now. Again, like you said, on Heat 5, they know how to get it done. There's no need to burn up your equipment and rush your way to the front or wreck your way to the front, because that's going to ultimately hurt your reputation and your car.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And these guys, they're pro league guys for a reason. They're pro league guys for a reason, and it's the skill and the respect that these guys come with every single race. And putting on a show here tonight, as I'm not sure how the round of pit stops went, but right now the 21 of Slade is being scored as a leader. So I'm not sure, but could it have been possible a 2-tire stop there? I'm not exactly sure.
I watched him kill it like Jason just now come down. So did he milk it for everything he had?
As we've got 18 laps to go now.
This is I am biased to this paint scheme of Kill It Like Jason. Obviously, being an Air Force veteran, I did not get to run this in this paint scheme in Heat 4, because I'm like, I paid $60 for the game. I'm not paying for paint schemes. So in Heat 5, heck yeah, I was running the Shark Face Air Force paint scheme, one of my favorite ones out there. But we're seeing that. I think, judging by that right there, the way I saw it, I think a lot of these guys took fuel only. That was a very quick pit stop for him.
Yeah, it's possible. As looking on here now that I'm on JWoww stream for the leaderboard at laps to go, and JWoww is third and Clashin is second. And here comes the 21 now down pit road. So the 21 actually hadn't pitted yet. I thought Slade had pitted. He hadn't pitted yet, so here he is now down pit road.
Are they laps down? Did he try to trap him a couple laps down and get just fuel only?
It looks like it, because here he comes. He's already out.
I like it. That's a bold move, and I've tried it in the past. I haven't been able to do it, but if he can get out in a short track like this, come down, petrol only, get just enough, maybe half a can to get to the end, because there's 18, probably 15 to go now. So let's see if Old Slade can pull one off here. I like that move.
He may have stayed out a little too long, as it's kind of circled around now, as Clashin regains the lead and JWoww takes back in a second.
The 43 is in front of JWoww. Right now, and they were having some bumper-to-bumper contact, so the 43 was holding JWoww up, and looked like he gave him that little Earnhardt to Labonte. I was trying to rattle his cage, and the 43 moves to the high side right there for JWoww, and he gets around him now. So we do have a car on the wall that's a 25. Again, he's been having a rough night all night, and I applaud him for sticking it out, because my frustration level would have been like, no sir, not tonight. Wait till next week.
Definitely. And I'm kind of one of those guys. If I'm having kind of one of those nights, the last thing I want to do is
I don't want to piss anybody else off. You know what I mean? I'll get out of the way.
Right. You want to stay out as long as you can for points purposes, but at the same time, I certainly don't want to do something, make a mistake, and end up taking out the leader or taking out the points leader or both, and being a major issue. So it all depends. But I mean, like I said, in this league, the level of competition is so intense. I mean, every single point is going to matter. So, just might not be your race. It might be a bad race. Might just be the track. So sometimes you might have, it gets to the point where you have to stick it out as long as you can, or maybe to the point where, if you're not going to gain anything and you're not going to lose anything, that's when you might want to take a look at that, making that kind of decision. If you're not going to gain and you're not going to lose, then that's what I kind of look at when I'm kind of having one of those nights. But right now, as we are starting to wind, we got 7 laps to go here in stage number 2, and Clashing in that 51, still on cruise control, absolutely dominating this race. I mean, has led almost every single lap. The only laps that he didn't lead were under that round of green flag pit stops. But
and I love that move by Slade to do that too. I don't understand. I don't know how the points work here, but if you get a point for leading a lap, why not?
Absolutely. I'm not exactly. I can't remember the exact, but I think I'm not sure if bonus points to laps led, most laps led, etc. But you definitely want to get those kinds of points. Like you were saying there,
plus it's bragging rights, not for Slade. We know Slade's talent, but if I could stay out and I said I could lead a lap against these guys, that gives me a little bit of, how do you say it, Dip? I might puff up a little bit and say, I led a lap. I know they pitted, but guess what? I led a lap.
Well, let me tell you something. If I was out there and I'd be like, hey, if I were to lead a lap, I'm getting ready to pop the champagne if I lead a lap with these guys. I mean, that's how fired up I would be. But yeah, Slade, in that FTR league, I always called Slade the silent assassin. He would for his work schedule, what have you, he was never able to qualify, so he would have to start in the back every single week. And every single week he would start in the back, and you wouldn't see or hear much of him, but he would just silently just move right on up and just take you out one at a time until all of a sudden, boom, he was there in the top 5, top 3.
It's almost like a sniper, one at a time, silent at dead.
Right, absolutely. So he was, I kind of deemed him my, the silent assassin. So, I'm not sure he's really too silent here in Valor, but he's certainly having a very good run as we are now back under caution.
I believe that's the stage, correct?
That is going to be the end of stage 2. And you're the number
free race here at Richmond. The only 2 cautions have been the stage ends. That should give us a rundown.
And stage with this whole race brought to you by MinaPeach.com. Folks, check out MinaPeach.com. MINAPEACH.com. It's pronounced Mina Peach, but spelled MINAPEACH.com. MinaPeach.com. Terrific group of people over there. All kinds of stuff. Check those guys out. As we're getting ready, stage 3 here, Puddin'. So what's kind of your game plan? If you're not one of those JCR guys in that top 2, what's kind of your game plan here?
My game plan,
yeah,
right now, if I was further back to pack, would kind of be like my my philosophy on the golf course. Grip it and rip it without making people mad, but grip it and rip it. Get every position you can on these restarts. Try to get up there. Try to hit your marks. And because it is difficult to pass here, you've got to make these passes soon. I think that's why, like, we now see these guys going bumper to bumper on these restarts from these stages. That's why they're fighting so hard for it, because they don't want to eat their equipment up, but they want to get these passes made soon.
I was thinking the exact same as we see here. Slade now kind of stuck on that outside as Flash 9 in the 5 looking underneath of him. Mike RPM in the third now, tucking in behind JWoww in second. Slade there in fourth, able to fight back and hold on to that fourth spot. Slade muscling that Ford around in that number 21. They're not letting
boys get away right now, are they? They are not letting boys get away. Yeah, Mike RPM, though, I still owe him one. We played a Madden League a while back, and he put one on me a little bit. So, Mike, if you're listening, I want a rematch.
Oh, if he's not listening now, he certainly will be at the conclusion of this race. Mike, in that number 44, having a great run. Been in the top 5 all night tonight. Currently riding in that third spot in that number 44 Petty that he's known to drive. Very, very good guy, talented racer. Like I said, I mean, he was in that league. He was leading at points all season long until I'm not sure what happened as far as his schedule, work schedule, league schedule, whatever. But
life happens.
Life happens. He wasn't able to continue throughout and finish that season. But I mean, he was a model of consistency. And watching Mike, I mean, he had the one win, but so consistent, running that top 5, top 3 every single week, getting stage points, everything, and really took notice. Big fan of Mike RPM. I'm a big fan.
And you mentioned that you might have only had one win, but there's other leagues, and I've seen it even in real life in the American Flat Track where riders and the people over here, and other inside Richmond and Heat 5, never had a win. But because of their consistency of always being in the top 3, top 5, and even top 10s at tracks that they struggled at, they just bared it out and got the points. 0 wins, but have 1 championship. Obviously, that win is a big bragging value too. But points are, they're a key. You have to do that. So some nights when it's not your night, but like something like you just said with Mike. Points. We're only 2 races in here at Valor. So anything you can get that somebody else might lose tonight will benefit you in the future. And that's what racing's about too. It's about that night. It's about that setup. It's about getting there and being respectful. But it's also getting the best finish you can, because you never know when 1 point will make a difference.
And you couldn't be any more right, Puddin'. And just by saying that, take a look at tonight. Our top 2 in the points coming into that, even though we only had, this our race number 2 tonight here at Richmond. But It's Your Bro Chase comes into this race.
Not here.
He's not here.
So that's going to be a devastating points night.
Right. He is. He comes into the race our points leader after winning Auto Club last week, and second in points, also having to miss the race tonight due to, I believe, work schedule, is FRR Far Forever. So both.
Man, paying those bills stinks sometimes, right? Adulting sucks. I'll just say it, right?
Both of those guys, top 2 in points, aren't able to make this race tonight. So that's
going to be very interesting in the future to see how much they come back with a vengeance, though, to try to recap the points that they've lost, though.
Right. So JWoww is definitely looking to capitalize and cash in on that. As JWoww entered the race 3rd in points, Slade 4th, Flash 9 5th. DB the best was 6th, Clashin in 7th, and Clashin's coming into the race in 7th, already winning stage 1 and stage 2, and completely has dominated this race. I mean, he's led pretty much, I don't know, but 97% of the laps, 98% of the laps. Clashin is just picking them up and laying them down, and all that work that he put into preparing for this race with his teammate there, JWoww, the results are showing for these guys. We've been running 1-2 all night long, and there you see the interval that Clashin has between he and his teammate JWoww. There's the interval there you see there. between first and second, with Mike there in third and Slade in fourth. As Mike and Slade definitely don't want those two checking out. And as you can see, staying in that line, single file, kind of just riding right now, trying to get it to the end and see if they can make a move towards the end of this.
Free tonight, though, Shady. Again,
Yeah.
I don't mean to interrupt you. I'm
you're
going
good.
back to Teagle Lacater. I was informed before the race, though, he's got like a 7th or an 8th gear in this thing. If it comes down to fuel mileage, is that what he's banking on? Because he's falling off the pace a little bit, as we saw him being competitive earlier. Does he got one of those new GM 10-speed converters and transmissions in this thing? Or is he playing the long-run game, banking on no caution? So we could see some strategy come into play, what we just saw Slade do earlier by staying out, getting some laps led, maybe a point, depending on how the points work. But if this were, if it comes down to fuel mileage, do we see him short pick before freshies and then stay out, or do we just see him stay out too? So GTR Colligator could be one to possibly be a spoiler tonight on fuel mileage. I did just went through my text messages and got a little update on some of the drivers.
Picola Gator, he is definitely having a good run for himself tonight, and I think looking here now, last night, Picola.
Sorry, Earl, I had to close my window.
Oh, you're good. No,
I was sneaking a cigarette in my bedroom. I shouldn't do that, but I had the window open. I didn't want to miss any of the race match.
Oh, you're all good. As you mentioned that with Picola Gator, and congratulations to him for picking up a W last night in the Canadian E-Motorsports League.
Well, anything with Canada, though, is that really a win, though?
Well, I tell you what,
South Park said it best. Blame Canada, right? I'm just kidding.
Okay. Oh man, I can't believe we are getting that old, but
and you're a couple years older than me, and I'm about to turn that 4-0.
Now I'm gonna have that jingle.
I might be looking to one of our sponsors tonight and have them print up some napkins just to take to work, or print up something. A birthday to me is just another day. As we see 2 cars making a move back here, a little bit of action. But I might reach out to our sponsors and be like, hey, this only happens once in a lifetime. I got put motorsport shirts out there from when I own my own team racing and stuff. But I might make them have me a shirt say, hey, I'm old now.
Yep, and now I'm going to have that little jingle, that little song from that movie in my head all night long. So, thank you for that. No, just joking.
I have met so many cool people. We talked about this pre-race, traveling around the country as my wife was a COVID nurse during the pandemic. I got to meet so many cool people out here. Some people I haven't got to meet. From north of the border up there, but the first thing I say to them, and they already know it's coming, I'm like, blame Canada, and it's the people that you meet on. This is a small, tight-knit community here on the E5 too. It's not like I don't want to get sued for copyright infringement. You go to a different server of a self-shooter game that's been out for a long time. We all know what we're kind of talking about. There's millions of people who play that game, right? There's thousands of people who might play this. So everybody recognizes everybody's name, and everybody knows how each other are, and there's a lot of mutual respect because there's thousands that play this compared to, millions that play different games. So these guys out here not only are pro leaguers, the talent that you have developed and the dedication that you have put towards this one specific game, we all have one love, and that is we love to go fast.
Yeah. And the competition. That's what gets me. That what I love. About it. That kind of gripped me with this. As a 25, a koala back up into the wall. He's having a heck of a night. If he if he could wish this race over, I'm sure he would. And saying that number 8, Aquatati, he brushes the wall again as you're going on another long green flag run. So I'm wondering now, are these guys starting to get a little bit loose?
If they overdrove the cars, ate the tires up, fell off the strategy, it's a natural racer's instinct. I want to have a strategy. I have a strategy. I'm going to stick to it. But when there's a car in front of you, there's a car to your outside, this is sticking that strategy. You say, hey, I want to better myself. I want to better my position. I want to better my points. One, two, three, possibly 4 spots, whatever it might be. These guys out here, too, are trying to figure out, hey, tonight might not be my night, next week's the next night, but I'm going to get everything I can. I'm going to save a little bit right here, make it up in the long run. But that natural racer's instinct of when there's a rider, a car, driver in front of you, you blow your strategy because you want to race them. And sometimes that comes back to bite you.
Now we've got about 46 laps to go here at Richmond, and 51 of Clashin in that lead. He looked like he got a little bit loose there coming off a turn too, but he all good. You know, he's all good. He's straight, no worries, no problem. And he's certainly picking him up, laying him down like he did at the start of the green flag, starting on the pole tonight. As we now have 45 laps.
He's put on a clinic. Hey, straight clinic.
I mean, absolute dominator. And I've seen Clashin literally take races over, just like he's doing tonight. I saw him do it at Dover. I saw him doing it at Phoenix, and watching him do it again here tonight at Richmond here in Valor. And here as he comes now, coming down pit road. He's making an early pit stop, I think.
Taddy gets a little bump from BBS Brennan right there. BBS, I don't know if Taddy was slowing down to come down pit lane, or if Brennan just had a better car right there, contact being made. Taddy makes the move to the inside wall. But yes, green flag stops being implemented right now for freshies, belly fuel, maybe make an adjustment with the custom setups. Even back in the day, I had a custom. It worked great. We all know how the offline-online deal works. Something might tweak a little bit different here or there. It would be nothing to, to add some wedge, take some wedge out, make a tire pressure adjustment, lower that right front, get it to rotate on a short run, race that right rear, something like that. But we've still got a long ways to go in this race with these green flag racers going. But BBS Brennan, I don't know if Taddy... It's kind of hard to signal on a short track, too. That's very difficult for these guys. You and I both know that. That's why it's very recommended to be in the chat sometimes, call out the strategy and make that happen. But hopefully that did not give Taddy any damage.
Hopefully not. And I'm not sure if you're aware this is part of the league that there's 2 different chats based off of manufacturer. As you got the Ford guys in one chat, and then you have the Chevy and Toyota guys in a separate chat. So normally, on the broadcast, you have Sloppy Joe and Rusty Walrus up here in the booth. And I am normally the in-race reporter with the Chevrolet and Toyota guys as a partner in crime. Rowdy time. Rowdy, he is in the iRace reporter for the Ford guys. So, I'm sure next week we'll probably be back. If not, then either no, come heck or high water, I know I'm where I'm going to be, and that's going to be watching these guys race next week. As these guys are laying it up and putting it down still, as JWoww still your current leader, as Clashin and the other leaders have already made their green flag pit stop. So we've got 37 laps to go now, this time by.
And it was AI contact. It does not affect them, but Celtics got into one car as he was leaving the pit lane. We know that doesn't upset them, but that one car got sideways. The difference between iRacing and over here, if that happened on iRacing, there'd be a lot more cursing. But the AI, you have no control on pit lanes, so no harm, no foul for these guys. But
but definitely it's sometimes kind of funny how it how the
some of the
AI
animations and the motions when you see two cars connected on pit lane are pretty funny. Not gonna lie.
Definitely are. Definitely are. That's for sure. I tell you what, I mean,
I don't have any of the live streams up to give us where we're at, but Seth is again having a good run.
I'm on JWoww.
It looks like Mike Brash in that Mike RPM vehicle in the Petty 44 makes a move to the inside of, I think that might have been Slade's in the paint scheme there. But pit strategy is happening. Car's probably a lap down. Car's trying to get laps back. Probably Car's trying to save right now. I'm on board with the 88 of that man Turkey. He's looking real smooth and he's looking real consistent right now. And he's real happy to have some tires, I'm assuming.
Oh yeah, I mean, these guys just, you know, anytime you can get those 4 fresh Goodyear tires, I mean, you feel like you are on a cloud, especially here. Especially here at Richmond.
Oof! And 88 of Perky clips that wall.
Yes, he did.
Thankfully, not a big aero track here. Not a big draft effect like we would have had last week at Auto Club. Something, again, that I love that track. To try to break the draft, there's three, 4 different lines at Auto Club, but there's one specific line that does make you quick, same kind of at every track, but aerodynamics, if you have some damage, depending upon how bad it is, especially on customs, temperatures and stuff like that, we see the 18 that Perky go by right there. You got to keep an eye on there, but if you graze a wall like that, not as big of an effect here at Richmond as it would have been at, like I said, Michigan and Auto Club almost should be play tracks, even though they don't have restrictors on them, but no aerodynamic effect felt here unless you really, really water up good.
Right. As we continue to ride with JWoww in the 95 as Slade in the 21 makes the pass to get the lap back as JWoww still has yet to make his green flag stop. I think you'll start going to see him here come down pit road anytime now. Not yet, but he's got to be there within a few laps.
I like this strategy because I've pulled this so many times in the past. I may not have been the fastest one. When it comes to qualifying, 1 lap burners, whatever, I get it. I may not be fast for 1 lap. One thing I've always focused on, whether it be on console or PC, was long run speed. I'll qualify wherever. But going out, especially at this short track, right, it might benefit him a little bit more to pit a little bit later. But having those 4 fresh tires, having enough fuel to get to the end, knowing that you have that comfortability, if a caution were to come out right now, he wouldn't have to pit. He knows he's got 4 fresh tires. You know, they might not be as they might be a little worn. Sometimes these cars, especially on road courses, run better on worn tires. But to go out and have those 4 fresh tires for the last 20 laps and be able to know that you can just go out and let her eat, run her in, and let the car have its time, that is the best thing. It stinks sometimes if you get caught a lap down and you got to try to work it back, but as long as they play their strategy right, those 4 fresh tires will benefit them as long as these guys have been out now after pit strategy.
And JWoww has made his pit stop as he is now coming back onto the track right now as Clashin was able to retake the pass and retake his spot in first as JWoww comes out of the pits in 4th. But like you were saying, as far as the strategy there, kind of one of the strategies that I've used quite often in time to time at certain tracks is...
I've stayed out too long, though, and it's come back to bite me. You just don't have enough time. You're eating them up. You're eating them up 3-4 seconds a lap, but when you're 30 seconds behind, sometimes it's too late. So you got to play that You got to play that poker hand. You know what I mean? Don't bluff it, but you got to come sooner. If they're going to come in later, or if you're going to come, there's that. Obviously, it's why it's called a strategy. It's called gambling. It's not called winning. It's called gambling. Right. But those 4 fresh tires always are best. It proves that you got 10 to go. Yeah, you're eating them up, but if you're 40 seconds behind, it defeats the purpose. So you got to play. You got to find that fine line.
Right, and if you can pit it on, if you can pit at exactly the right time, as everybody is all too familiar with the short pit and trying to catch up on time and get a couple positions with the short pit. But sometimes, just like you said, you don't want to stay out too long. But sometimes, if guys short pit a little too early, and if you can not lose...
Contact back here between the 88 and 5. It's the 88's quicker than 5. Go ahead, sorry.
Yep. Yeah, it's okay. And if you can hold it out and you're not losing too much time on old tires and let those guys who have come out of the pits burn up those tires and actually get some wear on their new tires, by the time... If you're able to stretch that out, time it right, and have everything fall into place, to where when you come out with 4 fresh tires, that their tires are all well spent, and instead of short pitting to make up that time, actually waiting until it cycles through and then coming back and making up that time at the end. To where here, when you're in stage 3, when you're talking about the fuel mileage portion of it to get you to the end, that could make all the difference in the world.
I'm on board with Flash 9, and that 595 lets them go by. He is chasing down the 88 right there, so I believe that was a pass position. 95 lets them go, or he could be a lap down, but I don't have a lap counter. But if he's a lap down or on those older tires, even maybe not a lap down, he realizes older tires he's on freshies and he's going to go around him, but pass back here. I'm clicking through the field. I'm not seeing a lot of super bad action right now, but a lot of guys just maintaining. Do you know how many laps are left?
Yep, we've got... let me see here on this time by. I believe we have 15 laps to go.
15 laps to go. These guys are lapping. What's good? I can't remember. What's a good lap time here? Less than 30, right?
Oh yeah.
So
Caution
this
is turning...
race with no cautions will end real quick. Let's see how this pans out for them.
Caution is turning 20.711 on that last
way
lap.
Below 30. So at 20, so almost.
Yeah,
so yeah, and another thing too, like if you stay out 10 laps longer than everybody, yeah, you're gonna have 10 laps fresher tires. But something else I've worked, tried to work on too, pit 2 laps after them, because guess what? 2 lap fresher tires, as long as you don't eat them up, can benefit you too. No matter what, fresh tires is always key. I'm on board with Slade, that 21 spin Ford Mustang, and he's hitting that yellow line. Now I'm on board with somebody else, and he is just above that yellow line, maybe half a car above it. So there's different lines being utilized depending upon how the car is handling or how they set the vehicle up. But Slade eating that yellow line up. He likes it.
Riding along with Clashin as he's on cruise control here for the next 12 or 13 or so laps left, as he is absolutely just dominated this race from the start of the green flag. We got 11 laps to go, and he is just, incredible performance from these JCR guys. Clashin and JWoww both have put on a tremendous show tonight.
I still want to kind of know what happened to Mo Power
Celtics.
Yeah, the Celtics. I want to know what happened earlier when there was a contact and no caution, and it looked like he did. So I don't know if it was lag, like glitch. We do know that happens sometimes. He's been having a good run. Looks like he's running real strong right now.
I was
But
wondering that too. Also, I mean, we saw him
did you see it
earlier.
happen?
No, I didn't see it happen. We caught onto it once when he caught eyeball of it. But when he was fighting, coming up through the field and got as high as fifth. So I'm not exactly sure where his running spot is now.
Killer like Jason at 43 coming up in pit lane.
Yeah.
And that beautiful Air Force short case car. I love that car. KD in that 6 all by himself. Trying to chase down that fellow Mustang. 22, Mike RPM back here. Running that Petty Enterprise.
As we are coming down to the last handful of laps.
Yeah, not a lot of action being made on the track right now. These guys just trying to patiently get to the end and applaud them all, but not really surprised. No cautions at a short track. Again, the talent level that we have here at Valor, absolutely not shocked whatsoever. They did race each other hard. We did see some rubbing his race. I hate saying that as an open wheel motorcycle rider. Rubbing is not racing. That is how you get flipped through the air. But these guys out here, the JCR boys, though. Again, certain tracks for me, if I would have circled them, definitely wouldn't have been Talladega or Daytona. I would have circled like Watkins Glen, Las Vegas, Auto Club. Those are tracks that I would have circled. These guys obviously put a focus on Richmond, and maybe it was a mindset of saying, hey, these guys don't care about Richmond. They just want out of Richmond, so we're going to put both folks into Richmond maybe, and we're going to dedicate ourselves there. And they just want to walk out with points tonight. We want to walk out with a win and points. So there's a lot of stuff that goes on with these JCR boys. Again, I'm very familiar with them. McLovin, you said he's over there. He was always my little arch nemesis. I finished second to him probably more than anybody else, but the JCR people know what they're doing. They know how to do it, but as everybody else does. But what you mentioned earlier, people miss it because of work. That life thing, that adulting thing does happen sometimes. Tonight might be a big night that they were very proficient at Richmond, and because of certain circumstances, they're not going to be able to make it. It's going to be a devastating points night for them too. We're going to see how it all boils out. Tonight's only 2 of 16, so we got many more races to go here in Valor Racing,
and we've got one lap to go. Didn't mean to cut
Presented
off.
by Keystone Light, right?
Yeah, and MinaPeach.com, as that was 1 lap to go, and Clashin has just taken the checkered flag. Congratulations, JCR Clashin picks up the win here at Richmond for the PRCS Valor Racing League at Richmond, the Old Dominion 200. JCR Clashin dominated. Absolutely dominated from the drop of the green flag, winning both stages and the race. Congratulations, JCR Clashin. We're going to get these top 3 up here in the booth as we got Clashin gets first. JCR JWoww is back, finishes second. Slade gets third. There's our number 22. Mopawa Celtics comes home in fourth. KD in the 6 car comes home fifth. The man Perky the 88 in sixth. Flash 9 in the 5 car comes home 7th. Cyberonic Bionic 84 in the number 4 car comes home 8th. Mike RPM comes home 9th. And DK Brown comes home in 10th. So let me take a second. Let me get on over here. And let's get these top 3 up into the booth. Give me 1 second. As I can...
Congratulations. great job over in Valor. While you get these guys up here, I just want to thank again all of our sponsors and drivers putting on a great show tonight.
And what a great show it was! As we got our top three in here tonight, and let's start off with our third place finisher, and that is in the number 21 car, and that is Slade, the owner here. Congratulations, Slade, getting third place, my man. Good job.
Yeah, thank you. It was a very clean race on the owner part of it. Admin, what do you want to call it? Very happy with how the race went. Caution free. Didn't have many issues at all. There were a few people, slight dive bombs, little door contact, That's just short track racing, of course. And then lap cars did a fantastic job tonight, giving space to the leaders. Had no issues from lap cars from what I heard. So overall, very clean race. Very happy about it. In terms of driver, overall good though. Had a good piece. Very loose in stage 1 and 2. Very loose. Stage 2 had a terrible strategy call going 2 tires, which cost us, I believe, a spot to a P5 stage 2 finish. And then stage 3, we kind of just rode around a 4th. And then I think Mike got a speeding penalty, and so he fell back, so it kind of gave us a P3. So we'll take it.
My question to you, Slade, and sorry, Shady,
no, go ahead, go right on.
I don't want to give away all your secrets, but there's 2 ways on a custom setup to fix what you call a loose situation under a pit stop, right? Wedge tire pressure. That's how I kind of see it. Wedge obviously affects how your tires get eaten up on a custom setup. How do you make adjustments, and what kind of adjustments, if you don't want to say, but I'm just curious to, how do you make it not that loose without messing with the wedge and tire wear under a caution, with what limited options you have for pit stops?
You do a little both. I think from where I started in the race to where I ended, I think I went up 0.2 on the wedge. I think I went up 0.5 on the left rear, and I went down 2.0 on the right rear. That's what we changed the race, and what that did was didn't really affect me too bad on entry. I was already a little tight on entry, so it didn't affect me too bad at all there. Just had to let it coast a little more, and then on exit I could gun it off quicker. Let the rear kind of spin, which wore out my right rear a little more, but was fine because with that wedge adjustment, it was not really a problem. And it straightened us out. So I got faster as the run went on, and my fast lap was the start stage 3. So yeah, the adjustments really helped a lot. Yeah, you kind of do a little bit of both, find the right combination. Everything's kind of the same on any track. If you're loose on exit, go up a little bit on the wedge, down a little bit on the right rear, and it kind of just fixes it at that point.
Congratulations on your position, man. Got those much-needed points. You run such a great deal over here, man. You do such a good job. Thanks for thinking of me at the last second opportunity, and I hope you have a great rest of your season, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate what you did.
Absolutely, and that is Slade in third, man. Congratulations on getting a third, man. That was a heck of a run. And real quick before we move on to our second place runner-up, how was the track for you? Did the track do a lot of changing for you as the race went on, or did it pretty much stay the same for you? You mentioned having to make a few adjustments here and there. Was that as a result of the track changing as the night went on, or?
I couldn't give you an answer because we started off loose, so I made adjustments immediately after stage 1. Stage 1 was about 40 laps, maybe 35 after our pace lap. So, like I said, I made adjustments immediately, and I didn't really change much after stage 1. So, I definitely can tell in stage 3 my car felt the best. I'm not sure if it was a track change or what, but it just felt more down to the racetrack. Felt like I could make better passes. I made a good pass on Flash to start stage 3 on the outside. I think he got the apron a little bit, which gave me a little advantage. But made a quite solid pass. There, the car just felt stuck to the track, and we kept pushing along. But overall, I didn't make any adjustments with the track changing. It was just my car just got a little better overall.
Well, it definitely showed out at the end, man. Congratulations, like I said, on getting third place. You came into the race at fourth in points, so finishing in third. That's, with It's Your Bro Chase and Favre both not able to make the race tonight. Came into the race first and second in points. Definitely going to be definitely interesting to wait to see what happens when the points are released tomorrow or the next day. But excellent run, Slade. Congratulations on getting the third place, man. Job well done.
Yep, thanks, man. Appreciate what y'all did tonight. Thank y'all for stepping up.
Absolutely, anytime, my man. Anytime, anytime. And let's move on over to our second place finisher, and that is JCR. JWoww is back, and the number 95, his number 95, as we said it earlier in the broadcast, there's two 95s, but JWoww and his 95 Portal Toyota Camry. JWoww, congratulations, man, getting second place, man. Job well done.
Thank you, thank you.
So give us your rundown on your race, man, before we kind of go into a little bit of the nitty-gritty here. Give us your rundown on your race.
Yeah, we didn't qualify as good as we should have. We should have been up there in about top 3, top 4, but we ended up getting 6. But since Chase didn't show up, we ended up getting to 5th. We managed our way through the field very quickly, and stage 1 got up to P2, and then we were just kind of stalled there around a second to 1.5 seconds, and couldn't really make up time. We had some handling issues on our car, so I had to go on the wedge a little bit to get more safety in it. But yeah, it wasn't. We made mistakes all night, but he ran a perfect race. That was probably the best race he could run right there. And that's it shows us the hard work we put in. We were literally up till 2:30 a.m. last night, just still putting laps, and just trying to practice every little thing to get this car better. And as it showed tonight, we just went out there and put him down.
My question. Shady knows where I'm going with this.
Get right on it.
Why Richmond? There's so many other tracks to focus on. Why Richmond? Is because you didn't think people wanted to be here, they didn't like it, they didn't want to focus on it, so you're going to take advantage of that weakness? Why Richmond? I know it's a rhythm track. You guys did such a great job to go caution-free tonight, but this is one of those tracks for me. I would have circled as let's get it over with track, and you guys circled it as a let's go dominate a track.
That's just the track we're at. I mean, we're probably going to be doing this for the rest of the season. We're just going to practice. That's how we're committed. How much we're committed for this league, and we'll show you week in, week out. We're going to go practice and try to be perfect on race day, just like Clashing did tonight.
I don't disagree with that. The time, the dedication, the effort that you put on there. I've never had the opportunity to get my butt beat by you or Clashing, but obviously McLovin, he's always been my kryptonite. I know how much time and effort you put on over there, and you know that's pride. You guys represent yourself very well, and that's how you win championships. And congratulations. Now, who owes what? Who owes who a beer tonight between those two JCR boys on beating each other tonight?
I believe Clashing's going to throw me a beer because, actually, no, I say I owe the beer because he put in a lot of work in the setup. He's more of the setup guy, and I'm just trying to test out the car feel, just how to make it faster. And he has the smarts, so he knows what he's doing around the car, in and out. And it's a total team effort. So I'm proud of our guys and I getting a 1-2 finish. Hopefully there's a lot more 1-2 finishes along the season.
You got a lot of competition ahead of you. You got 14 more races too. You did have some drivers not here again, especially some of the people who were very predominant last week at the same time. So keep up the hard work. Great to see you back out there. And it pains me a little bit to come out of retirement and say JCR because again, old Mr. Freeman, I'm just telling you, he's my kryptonite. But it's so good to see you guys up there and see you guys doing what you do, and you keep doing what you do, man. Go fast.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Hey, thank y'all for putting on a show. I know y'all had to make late plans to get this going, and Slade had to work our way around this to get the show back on the page, but. I want to give a special thanks out for y'all.
We appreciate that. Thanks, man. Keep doing what you do.
Yes, sir.
Oh, definitely, man, and congratulations on getting the on the runner up there, Jay. Wow, as I was talking to Puddin, right before the race started, and as I was mentioning, I was talking to you this earlier this afternoon, and getting kind of talking to your piece, and I was mentioning coming out of the race last week, and that decision to stay out with a handful of laps left, and you were really, really, really frustrated about that afterwards, and how you said it, you kind of threw, you threw that race, and you're really, really upset about last week, and really frustrated with that. Do you feel, a little bit now? You kind of gotten a little bit of retribution, a little bit. You kind of flip the script on that a little bit, kind of put that to bed with a really, really good dominating performance here with Clashing tonight here at Richmond. I was mentioning to Puddin' Knievel, after talking to you this afternoon, and that you guys, like you said, you were preparing for this race for over a month now. And I'm just really glad that you guys got the results that you certainly deserve. But after coming off of the disappointing finish from last week and how that race finished up for you, it's a little. Did you kind of get that redemption a little bit tonight and getting the second place?
I would say, yeah, last week is last week. We made a wrong decision. I know we had a great car there, but it was a drafting track. Anything could have happened. But we made that decision. But coming into this race, we were prepped up a little more than usual. But yeah, I'm very proud of getting P2. I know I thought I would have been a little more harder on myself finishing P2, but I know Clashin ran a perfect race, so I'm going to give him props for that. He worked hard all week to get that car to where it was at, so I'm proud of him for him getting the win and just showing the team what we could do.
Congratulations, JWoww, on getting a second place finish, and let's finally bring in the winner here, and that is your teammate and JCR Clashin and his number 51 Toyota. Clashin, congratulations on getting your first win of the season here in the Valor Racing League, the PRCS here at Richmond. Congratulations, man, on getting that W.
Thank you, Shady.
Always glad to have you. You know how you're not new to these interviews, my friend. You're not new. You know how we roll with it. Go ahead and give us your race, man. You know the drill. Give us your rundown.
Yeah, I wasn't really expecting that. I was expecting to finish second every single stage, but I just, like J-Wall said, I ran a perfect race. I might have hit the apron maybe once or twice and lost maybe 200 or 300s, but that was about as perfect as a race I could have ran. Stage 1, I just ran straight, no pitting. Stage 2, I took low fuel and then just split it in half. Stage 3, did the same thing, low fuel, split in half.
Was that part of your plan? Did you, with all the practice you put in?
Yeah, kind of, but it was all, I guess it was how the energy of the lobby was. Like, there was no cautions really, so I kind of like banked on no cautions, because if a caution would have came out there, I would have been a lap down and my race might have been over.
Well, with those, the green flag, I mean, you have no control. You just kind of cross your fingers. I mean, especially when you go in, the leader. I mean, cross the fingers that it cycles all the way through with no incidents and a caution due coming out. But as we were, I was talking to you earlier this afternoon, and talking to you guys last night also, and kind of getting your thoughts going into this race. And how you guys felt coming into the race with all the hard work that you guys been putting in and preparing for this race. And coming into this race, you said that the top three were going to be you, JWoww, and Chase. That Chase was going to be pretty much, the way you guys anticipated throughout practice. That you were anticipating Chase was going to be your top competition tonight here at Richmond. When you found out when you guys jumped in the car, started the engines up, and you looked and you saw that, hey, you're on the pole, which means Chase is not here tonight. Did you kind of say, okay, well, there goes pretty much our top competition. So, did that change your game plan at all going into the race, or was it just kind of, just let it rip?
The game plan was the same the whole time, but Mike RPM, Slade, they had some speed there for a while. I think they struggled like towards the end, but they are pretty good for the first 35 laps. But the news with Chase not showing up is pretty frustrating because we put all this work in just to beat him, and he flaked for personal reasons, which can't blame him. But we wanted to prove we could beat him, and he didn't show.
Well, I mean,
was that a call out? Is that how? I kind of took that as a call out.
Half call out.
Half call out. Well, again, Craig, congratulations to you, bud. Throughout the entire broadcast and everything, you guys put the time, the work in. We know what you guys can do over there at JCR. I am not going to keep repeating myself. You did run a almost flawless race. Like I've even told Shady during it that there's different lines to be ran here. A lot of people are running that mustard yellow line. They're trying to put that hot dog on that line, and you don't want to touch it, but you want to get close to it. And you were there the entire time. Put your time, put your effort in. It's great points tonight for you. You got 14 more races to go. Is there anybody out there you only want to thank besides your team?
No, but I would like to say that's what makes this league so amazing. It's just competitive. That's why we put time into practice to beat guys like Slade, It's Your Boat Chase, Mike RPM, DB, Far, Flash, everyone. You have to run a perfect race. That's the only way you're going to beat them. So I just put the time in, and it just worked out.
Well, congratulations on your win tonight, man, and you guys definitely earned it.
Yeah, thank you guys, and thank you for the last second broadcast switch.
Shady?
Oh, it's all good, man. And I mean, congratulations, man, on getting, absolute dominating performance. I mean, domination. And just, I mean, you said run a perfect race. You couldn't be any more perfect, in my opinion. I mean, the only laps that I think you didn't lead were just as a result of the green flag pit stop cycling all the way through. But take those away, I mean, I think you could pretty much lead 100% of the race. I mean, you can't get any more perfect than that. Congratulations, man, on getting a win. Gonna let you celebrate and enjoy this win. Congratulations, man. Job well done. Just absolutely awesome watching you getting this win tonight in a dominating performance.
Yep, thank you. Congrats to the top 3.
And where are we off to next week, Shady?
We're off to Chicago, and it starts our Gauges and Wages series, so we're very excited about that.
Ooh, Chicago. That is one of those fun, kind of high line, everybody wants to run, kind of pulls a slide job. And do you want to go into a little bit of info on what the Gauges and Wages is?
Yes, so it'll be a 3-race series, races 3, 5, and 7 of the schedule, which is Chicago, Watkins Glen, and Michigan. The driver with the most points accumulated of the 3 races will get a $50 bonus, courtesy of minnapeach.com. So we will very excited about those races. Once again, the driver with the most points accumulated over those 3 races will get $50 accumulated, or $50 courtesy of minnapeach.com.
Hey, that is fantastic. More effort there, and I love how you went intermediate, super speedway almost, and with road course. I absolutely love that. Bring that talent level, and each week again, something changes up. And yes, again, not a big deal, but I'm going to check out minnapeach.com. I'm going to have something made from them. I don't know what it is yet. I now thought about it. We'll help our sponsors out here tonight for my birthday, who, like I said, not a big deal, but I got to do something for the guys at work to give them a little bit of grief. Slade, thank you again for the opportunity. I appreciate everybody out there for tuning in tonight. This has been a great night. The talent level here, again, we can't talk about anything else. Shady, you want to take us off the air?
Yeah, well, it sounds good. I want to thank you, Puddin, for jumping in the booth here with me tonight on the last minute. Had a blast, man. It was one heck of a race, and absolutely glad. Thank you for jumping on up in here with me on the last minute short notice, man. Had a lot of fun, and thank you for jumping on up in here with me.
No problem, man. I appreciate it. It's been a long time since I've been able to do this. Again, everybody knows kind of I went to the other side. I guess that people call it the dark side, but to come back to my roots, come back and watch people out there that I've seen and raced with. You played other games with, whatever. Just come out and to be able to do it again. It was an honor to be thought of for the opportunity. So I do appreciate that. Thank you, guys.
Absolutely. Want to thank Slade again for having me being part of the broadcast team, and look forward to hopefully next week we will have Sloppy Joe and Rusty Walrus back in the booth.
I'll give him back his red jacket. I had to wear it tonight.
Well,
I had to wear it tonight.
Well, we're going to have to keep you in the bullpen, in case we need to call you up. It's summertime, but a lot of stuff going on, work schedules, family, all vacation, all kinds of stuff. So, just absolutely glad you're part of the team now, man. Just absolutely glad part of the team, and we'll see what happens. Either way, I'll be in Chicagoland, one way or the other, whether it's IRR here in the booth. Either way, had a blast tonight here with you tonight, Puddin'. I want to thank Slade again. And tonight,
I think I just got a little bit jealous. My wife said Slade's cute. So what does that make me? My wife has got a crush on Slade.
Oh boy!
No comment. No comment.
No comment.
You home record.
Well, that's something you can use to your advantage there, Puddin'. I mean, use it, flip on the. Well, anyway. JCR Clash and comes home the winner tonight at Richmond, the Old Dominion 200, followed by his partner in crime and teammate JCR J-Wow is back at second, Slade in third, Mopawa Celtics in fourth. What a run by that 22 Puddin'. We had our eye on him.
That Mopwa guy made it happen tonight. That Mopwa Ford Mustang.
Yeah,
Mopawa
Celtics had a great run. Finally, came home in fourth. Had a great run in that 22 car. Congratulations to Celtics on a great run. KD comes home in fifth. The Man Perky sixth. Flash 9 gets seventh. Cyberonic Bionic 84 comes home 8th, Mike RPM in 9th, and DK Brown rounds out our top 10. So that's going to do it tonight for us here at Richmond in the Valor and PRCS Racing League. Want to thank Slade again for having us be a part of the team. And congratulations again to our top three, Clash and getting that W, J-Wow second, Slade in third. Join us next Wednesday for Chicagoland. We will be at Chicagoland next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. As far as the YouTube, hopefully Sloppy Joe will be back and his Twitch stream. We'll keep in tune on. We'll be sending out the notification, letting everybody know where, tune on in and everything else, all kinds of news, updates, points, everything you have it, name it. Check it out next week. Thank you to also MinaPeach.com, a sponsor and of the league. That's MINAPEACH.com, MinaPeach.com. Thank you very much, all those people over there. For Puddin' Knievel, for everybody, I'm Shady Acres. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in, watching one heck of a race, a dominating performance by JCR Clash and NF51, dominating and getting that dub. Hopefully, we'll see what happens next week at Chicago. Can he make it 2 in a row? Will we get a new winner? We will find out next week in Chicago. Good night, everybody.